There's Forrest said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zones, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We're back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to VIRginia International Raceway. It's time to go racing with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Waiting for this one, man. This is an exciting day for sure. No place better to do it than right here at VIR. In fact, this series has been coming here for 58 years, dating back to 1966, and for the last 16 years consecutively. Hello, I'm Ken Stout. That is Josh Hurley standing right alongside our pit reporter, Ben Sissel, as well. We'll watch 4 different categories here today. GT, Super GT, Extreme GT, and yes, the 900 horsepower fire-breathing TA cars. And as we talk about that category, Josh, it is Paul Menard who has a 65-point lead over Chris Dyson. Dyson's had a stranglehold on this category the last 3 years, 3 consecutive championships, 4th on the all-time win list, and one day ago goes out and puts that Jim Weed Mustang on the pole.
And I think he's ready. He's going to be prepared for what this track has. He's raced here before a lot more than Paul Menard has. He knows how hard this place is to drive, how much these Pirelli tires are going to go off in this heat, and how to get around that really tricky lap traffic, because those S's, they can really hold you up. So he's good at that timing. It should be a really good race, but it's going to be really challenging and really hard for Paul Menard.
And Ben Sissel, I got to work you in here as well. We have a young gun in the category here that's going to try to do what was done 1 year ago by Connor Zilisch.
Yeah, Thomas Annunziata in that beautiful Castro, Criswell Chevrolet, Claudio Burton car could do what Connor Zilisch did. He won yesterday's TA2 race. Let's see if he can get on the top. But I tell you what, that car is still in development. It's a very kind of futuristic TA car, if that makes any sense. And they've been chasing some electrical gremlins this weekend.
Well, we'll find out how things shake down. Of course, we also have the other 3 categories that we will focus on as well. So we'll find out how that does as well. I'm going to hand you the microphone. We're going to head back up to the booth, and you're going to take us on a grid walk. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you very much. Have fun up there, guys. We'll pass the mic. And what I want to do, this race here at the VIR Speed Tour with the Trans Am Series, we have a lot of new GT drivers. And for those of you out there in a GT4 car looking for somewhere to run, well, look here at the GT class, like Michael Saya's car here. Michael running really well. Michael, what do you tell your other GT friends trying to get them out here? I know you brought him out here this time, so we love having Rami out here.
Out of my way. That's the first thing, because I'm coming through. So looking to have a lot of fun today in today's race, and great weather, great events. Love being here. Love running with you guys. So looking forward to today's race.
I love it. Well, Mike Asaya out here in the GT class. So remember, if you've got a GT4 car, come run with us. We are all about the fun here in this. So we've got Ricky Sanders, who's been with us a lot this season, usually in a Mercedes. But now Ricky Sanders in a Corvette, which is a little bit more suitable for that accent. Then we're going to talk to Jen Carpata here real quick. So Jen is out here in a TA2 car in Super GT from Long Island. And she's out here, and you can see on the side she's with the you're an electrician with the Electricians Union. So tell us a little bit about that.
So my day job is a IBW Local 25 electrician, and they have been a great sponsor throughout the many years that I've been racing cars. And I really appreciate everything that they do for me and all the help that they give me. And yeah, they're great people to work with, great men and women.
Well, Jen Carpata always very fast in this car. She loves coming to VIR. So, like we're talking about these GT classes, we've got Colin Cohen there. Something also to mention, Tommy Dreese and Ray Cobbs back there, they missed the grid, so they have to start from the back. Then we've got these new XGT cars here. So happy to have them out here. He's super fast. Danny Lowry's here with Billy Griffin back here in the GT class. So, remember, we've got GT, Super GT, Extreme GT. So if you have a GT3 car, GT4 car, we have a place where you will fit in and have the most fun racing with some great family camaraderie. We were speaking about that young gun earlier, and this is the car, the number 17 Castrol Criswell Chevrolet car of Thomas Annunziata, one of our young guns. So tell me about racing this behemoth.
Yeah, this thing's insane. 2,800 pounds, same as the TA2 car, but it's got 400 more horsepower. It's like turning your sensitivity up on a video game. So super excited to hopefully take this Criswell Chevy Burton Racing TA car to the front, but we've had some issues the whole weekend, so we'll see if we sort them out, but if not, we'll see you guys probably another weekend.
I love it. I love the optimism there. Just a beautiful car, but like I said, the car's still under development. Amy Ruman out here running really well in her Valley McNichols red Corvette. And Amy, I gotta see the nails. We gotta see the nails, the matching nails. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Amy, I know you love VIR.
I do. I mean, what a facility. What a great track to be at, as usual. The fans here are awesome. The sun is shining, so we're excited. We had this Valley McNichols Chevrolet up front yesterday, got bumped on the last lap of qualifying, so I was a little bummed to be out of third. But we have some for him today, so hopefully we'll have a great race, and it should be a good day for us.
I'll make a deal with you. Get on the podium. You can paint my nails for Coda. Is that cool? All right, Amy Ruman doing really well. Beautiful car. And let's get a shot of this, though. This is something that she does to keep the grass off the grill. These chains go across and sweep the grass off the grill. And just a little change like that might make the difference in this race. And then we'll come back here. We've got, look at this, the two guys looking for the championship together. Chris Dyson, our pole winner here. But this is it right here. If Chris doesn't take the green flag, Paul Menard is our 2024 TA champion. But here, look at this camaraderie here.
No, that's good to know. I guess he's going to nerf me off on the pace lap. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. So, Paul, how you feeling about this?
Good. We struggled a little bit this weekend, but we found something that was wrong with the car and fixed it for qualifying. And car felt really good in qualifying and made a couple little tweaks. We'll see what we got. Chris has been really fast this weekend, but I feel like our Master Force Ford Mustang's been solid every race we've been in this year, and hopefully this is no exception.
I love it. Well, Chris Dyson, take that green flag. We need this thing to go on to the next round of Circuit of the Americas. But I'm going to come up here and give it over to my friend Marvin Gray for the invocation. Marvin, take it away.
Let's bow our heads in prayer, please. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to be here in the beauty of your creation, this amazing, amazing track. Lord, we ask your blessing and protection on each and every one that's involved, the drivers, the crew, the officials, the staff, and we thank you for our fans. Bless and protect them. Lord, now we remember those that are in need of your special touch today, for those who are recovering from the hurricane, for those in the Middle East, for those in Ukraine. May you be present in the midst of their difficulties. And now, Lord, we pray that you would bless and protect our troops, our safety forces, emergency people, all those that serve us and keep us safe. We ask that in your precious name, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Marvin, so much. And ladies and gentlemen, the Dan River High School Junior ROTC for our colors, and the local celebrity Christy Wilkins is going to deliver the national anthem. And ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a real treat.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh my goodness. You don't even need a microphone. What a powerful voice. Christy Wilkins, thank you so much. Gentlemen, I'm going to send that back up to you in the booth to go through the grid.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Wonderful job down there as well. A great way to start things off here. It is round 10 of the TA category here. The penultimate round, only 2 left in the season as we were talking about the chase for that championship. And, of course, Menard there in the proverbial driver's seat, as you would put him, 65 points ahead. And the sheer number of cars will be a help to him. They don't have that 30-car field that they have in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 category. There's a look at part of the track here as well. This place is spectacular. Josh, you were out here one day ago competing. Unfortunately, things didn't go your way. I know you're in the hunt for the Rookie of the Year here in TA2 as we look at our starting grid with Paul Menard starting off on the pole. Chris Dyson, by the way, Paul Menard will be on the right-hand side of this track. The first turn, Mission Foods turn number 1, is on the right-hand side. Amy Ruman, a 2-time champ here as well. Keith Grant on the outside of row number 2. Tommy Dreesy also here. He's always exciting to watch. A former TA West champ, Thomas Annunziata. That's the young gun we talked about just one day ago here in TA2. Danny Lowry back in row number 4 alongside Brian Locke. Brian Locke with an incredibly fast car there as well. We'll keep an eye on him. An IMSA GT3 prepared car. Eric Foss, you know him all too well. He's a tough guy.
He's been everywhere. He's raced everything, and he'll be really good in that G-Speed Corvette.
Billy Griffin as well. So as we look at some of the other categories that are mixed in here, Raymond Cobbs, by the way, unfortunately received some sort of penalty there. Not sure what it was for in qualifying, so maybe a little bit deeper than he typically would be. Chris Coffey and Kaylee Bryson. We have to talk about Kaylee. She's leading in the points in Super GT. A phenomenal driver here. Her first year out here in sports cars. She's done a great job. Richard Grant, a longtime TA racer. Over 600 starts. The dude's still out here getting it done. That's pretty cool. Gabriel Jasper, Michael Say, Ramy Farid, Jen Krapata, and Ricky Saunders back there in row number 10, competing in that Super GT category. We'll round things out here with Milton Grant. That is the brother of Richard Grant and Colin Cohen. So a number of those Grants out here competing, and it's great to see them out here for sure as well. So Keith Grant, we should mention, is the son of Richard Grant. So those two competing against each other inside of that TA category.
Yeah, it's always been a family affair for them here in Trans Am. It's been great to have them. Been racing with them for years. I've run a little bit of TA and gotten to encounter them. They're always great people to have at the track.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a long, long time. As we get a look at some of the fans out here huddled underneath the tree. And, of course, that brings back memory. You raced here, of course, when the oak tree was here.
Yeah, it feels so weird going through that corner. It actually changed a lot. Your sight lines are different, and actually changed the grip a little bit, too. That oak tree used to shade the track.
Yes, I was thinking about that yesterday. It's probably 10 degrees cooler there.
Yeah, so now you actually get more tire deck, and it's way more slippery, which makes a great show for us. You're going to see some of that today because it got slick yesterday.
Some of the suites up there as well on the front straightaways. There's some beautiful chalets built around this track as well. 3.27 miles is the distance here around this facility. 17 turns, but when you say 17 turns, they're not counting all the letters. There's a 5A, a 5B, there's a few more.
Yeah, it's a really interesting number system, and those 17 turns, I like to call this America's Nürburgring. It is one of the most difficult tracks to drive in North America. Those S's that we're looking at right now, incredibly fast with no room for error. That last corner there that you can see on right in front of the grid, lots of grip, lots of banking there actually, so really, really fast. It is a fast, hairy place. Makes it really interesting when you encounter traffic in those big TA cars.
Yeah, they call it the roller coaster at the back of that straightaway. By the way, the TA cars at the end of the straightaway in excess of 180 miles per hour, so they are extremely fast. All right, without further ado, let's get it back down to Ben for those famous words.
We have family, friends, and neighbors of Paul Menard's here, all the way from North Carolina, to deliver the most famous words in motorsports. Be loud and proud. Let's hear it.
Drivers, start your engines!
Come on now. Nice job, nice job.
And a good look at Paul Menard's car right there, the Master Force Tools sponsored vehicle, and it'd be number 3, of course, as they fire these things up. And talk about these cars just a little bit. From Tech, 366 cubic inches here for these monsters. Somewhere between 850 and 900 horsepower is typically the number that they are putting out in terms of horsepower, just short of 600 foot-pounds of torque. Here's the kicker. Much like the TA2 cars, they weigh in at 2,830 pounds. They're a light car despite the massive size.
They really are. I like to say TA doesn't just stand for Trans Am, it also stands for total acceleration. Cars are about. They pull and they don't stop pulling until you get to about 200 miles an hour. They are incredible machines.
Yeah, top speed just short of 200 miles per hour, about 195 miles per hour. By the way, I heard them coming by us during qualifying a day ago. A couple of cars shifting right here in front of us. For example, Tommy Dreese was pulling a gear right in front of our booth here just before the flag stand. A couple of other cars, including Paul Menard and Chris Dyson, were not pulling a gear here. So different splits. You're allowed different splits inside of these transmissions. They are a 4-speed H pattern, but almost everybody has a 5-speed.
Yeah, almost everyone runs that X-Track 5-speed. This is one of the few classes left in North America where not only can you change the final drive, you can change every gear inside those transmissions. So a lot of strategy on where you pick your gear to have the right gear for the corner. And now we see them starting their tire wearing procedure. Really critical today because it's so high. You want to get those tires up to temp, but not slip them too much.
Yeah, really nice job there. And talking to Keith Grant a little bit yesterday, he said he was bumping the limiter in 5th gear at the end of the straightaway yesterday. So something you don't want to do. I'm sure they made a change.
Exactly. Sometimes you need to really work on that. Wind can change, the temperature can change, our gear ratios even change with setup sometimes.
All right, we're going to take a lap around this beautiful 17-turn course. We call it the Circuit Guide. Let's go for a ride.
So I'm going to take you around VIRginia International Raceway, one of my personal favorite tracks. Very challenging, very twisty, very fast. First we come into turn 1, the best passing zone on the track. As you see Dyson passing Grant here. Really interesting passing zone because you can hang around the outside, which even sets up passing through turns 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we get the really challenging S's. Very close to hold the gas flat through 7 and 8. Often have to do a little breathe in 9 in the big TA cars. And then 10, light brake, really fast too. Then famous Oak Tree corner. Oak isn't here anymore because he Ragginger and Dyson battling here. But this corner is all about the exit. Got to get that power down for this big uphill straightaway. Then we have the roller coaster. Your last chance to pass as you see Marks going by Ruman here. Still got to keep it really tight on the apex here. Really easy to wash out wide as we prep for the last section called Hog Pen, which launches you on the front straightaway. And that is a lap here at VIRginia International Raceway, and it feels that busy.
So that is a lap around this course, and of course Josh doing a great job with that. We go on board with Tommy Dreese, and we've just found out Tommy Dreese starting from the back of the grid. He's going to have to work his way through all of the other classes as well. So he's a passionate guy, and he's exciting to watch. And he's going to feel a little angst now.
Yeah, he will definitely be worked up, and passing everyone in front of him in those other classes needs to know that. I'm sure their crew's telling them, because you have to also manage being passed. It's just as hard being in these slower classes. It's actually a little harder paying attention to both that mirror with those faster classes behind you. So it really adds an interesting twist. Really have to watch out on the start because you are not allowed to step out of line until you cross that start-finish line, and he will be very tempted to do that.
Danny Lowry will also give us an onboard view there in that Mercedes. He's competing in the Extreme GT category. We'll reference that as XGT. So one of the support series, or one of the support classes out here that compete alongside the TA cars. GT national drivers will also be out here. We go on board with Chris Dyson, and talking about Chris Dyson, he's absolutely outstanding inside of this car, and 3 consecutive championships going back to the last couple of years here. The only person to win 4 consecutive is Ernie Francis Jr. He still has a shot at that. He'd be the second person in Trans Am history to do so, but of course Paul Menard has other plans.
Exactly, and Paul's been on a tear, and I think he might have tested here in a NASCAR back when he was running Cup, so he probably knows this place better than some of those other tracks.
Making their way through the roller coaster part of this big elevation change. You can't see it really. The camera doesn't do it justice going down the back straightaway, but they really go up the hill. And then when they hit the roller coaster part, big elevation change right here. This turn falls away. They go through. Cube 3, turn 17, back out onto the front straightaway right here. It's time now to get things going for round 10 of the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, working their way to the flag stand. Flagman with a green flag in hand on the front row. On the pole is Chris Dyson, Paul Menard right alongside as they get ready to squeeze on the throttle of these 900 horsepower monsters, and we're racing at VIR. Here we go. Oh, just like that, knocked the back tires off. Chris Dyson spun the tires, turned the car sideways, opened up the door for Paul Menard. It looks like Amy Ruman locking up the front tires just a little bit. Side by side there with Grant. What an exciting start.
And here comes Annunziata. He's looking through. Is he going to follow Ruman through? I think he's going to give it a shot. So watch him for sticking it up inside of Grant. Looks like he's almost there. Couldn't quite pull it off.
Amy Ruman able to hang on to that spot. A 2-time series champion, of course. First female to get that done. A very talented racer. Hadn't been in the car for a while. Oh, looks like Grant got a little bit sideways right there and had to check up. That's Thomas Annunziata right there behind him. And then Brian Locke just back behind him. Brian Locke will be a player here today as well.
And here comes Annunziata. I'm not sure if he's followed somebody through here in one of these cars yet, but there's so much weight turbulence because these things make so much aero.
As we talked about Brian Locke, he will be competing in the XGT category, the Helium Mobile JDI Block Joy Porsche GT3, looking at Keith Grant, by the way, in the number 40 car. Thomas Annunziata in the Castrol Camaro, sponsored by Griswell Camaro. And one day ago, we talked about him winning that Cube 3 Architecture TA2 category. He had a great run, too. Thomas Merrill, who was second in the points in that one, got it behind him. We thought he might have something for Annunziata. It was not the case. Annunziata hung on to that one and won it handedly.
Yeah, that fresh air really, really helps. That helped him a lot yesterday, and he knows that. So he's going to be desperate to get up to the front early to get that clean air because it helps you save the tire, too.
Well, this is not what Chris Dyson wanted, and just that quick hit of the throttle. As once again we look at Grant and we look at Annunziata. Annunziata, such a talented young gentleman. I meant to ask him his age. He's 18 or 19 years old. This is his debut in the TA category. We go on board here with Chris Dyson. And talk to me about the horsepower squeezing on. We saw him knock the back tires off of that thing. One pace lap around here is not enough to put temp in those tires.
No, it really isn't, because if it was, they wouldn't last the whole time. So that first lap, it's really slippy. He's still sliding a little bit. I bet you he's running really low air pressure and hoping to come on strong at the end of the race.
So, and that is what you do, right? And he told me that they really have to manage the tires. Now, as we talk about the brake system, it has gotten better in these cars. 6 pistons, they really don't fall off per se. But the tires, he said, you have to manage how they come in and make sure that they all raise at the same level.
Yeah, exactly. They even grain like Formula One. If you slide the rears but you don't build temperature, that makes them grain and that ruins them for the whole race. So that first lap or two is really critical how you manage that. And here we look at some of the XGT Mercedes GT3 car of Danny Lowry going through the S's. These cars make a ton of downforce, almost like the TA, but just a little bit less power. Really fast cars on their own. He's doing a great job in his class.
Yeah, beautiful Mercedes there. Love these cars for sure. Sponsored by Bennett Bridge Hall, who also, by the way, is sponsoring the Bennett Bridge Hall Oak Tree turn that they just went through right there. And the Mercedes AMG GT3 won it back here in 22 and 23. His teammate is Billy Griffin running in the same category.
And right behind him, too. So nice to see little team marching together there. Probably not any team orders, though.
Absolutely not. By the way, Billy Griffin making his debut here in the XGT category, a 2-time GT champ and won here back in 2020. So he, too, knows this place. And, yeah, Those Mercedes look beautiful right there. Super cool cars here, GT3 spec level cars, and they are rocket ships.
Exactly. They are so fast. It's kind of strange having the TA cars out with them, because when the TA cars go by, you think that those XGTs are slow, and I assure you they're not. They're still doing 160 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway.
Well, no different than having a GT go blowing by you in IMSA as well, right, with the GT3 cars. So, yeah, there's some wicked cars out there for sure. As you take a look at time and scoring lined up on the left-hand side, 1.8 seconds between Menard and Dyson now up at the front. Ruman there in third place. Annunziata hanging on to fifth behind Grant. So the top five staying about the same. Eric Foss back there, and Eric Foss is going to be a player. It's great to see him come out here and throw down, get in the mix with everybody, and we'll see how that all plays out. Kaylee Bryson sitting in the catbird seat to win the championship in Super GT. She's done a phenomenal job. We'll focus on her at some point as well as we take a look at our leader here. That is, of course, in the TA category, and Paul Menard. So we are racing here. It is round 10 of the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more here from beautiful Virginia International Raceway. So exciting stuff as we continue on here. Chris Dyson gives us a great onboard shot. Looks like the car coming in here nicely as well. We'll take a look at some lap times here, and he just went a couple tenths quicker, at least best lap anyways, a couple tenths quicker.
And I did see something interesting. Watching Paul Menard, that car is taking the curbs really, really well. So that shows that car is set up nice and soft. If it's taking the curbs well, it usually means it's taking care of the tires as well. Here comes Amy Ruman down the turn one as well. Grant right behind her. Annunziata, I thought was going to be able to pressure Grant a little more. He's having a little bit of a tough start there.
Yeah, looking out over here, there's a good look at the flag stand as some of the other classes are coming by. There's a TA car. You had mentioned that before. That is Tommy Dreesy coming up through the pack. And Tommy Dreesy buying Ken Thwaite's team here just a year or so ago. And it is also Keith Grant that's also underneath that tent with Tommy Dreesy. Tommy's been doing this a long, long time. Very talented, 2009 Trans Am champion, 2018 Trans Am Series West champ, 1999 Trans Am Rookie of the Year. So he's been doing this for a long time, and not sure what happened to him and why he got that grid penalty, but had to start in the back of the pack.
Yeah, and he's really been working on getting this team together and really building it. It's his first year as an owner-driver, so he's learning a lot of lessons there. You can see him now. He's actually going to have to deal with some traffic in the S's. Hardest place to catch traffic is right up here, because they messed up your arrow a little bit, and there's nowhere to get by him. You kind of have to wait to come out of that oak tree.
Yeah, you really do have to be patient here. Multi-class racing, that is part of the game. Car looks great here. He is ripping along for sure. Good look at that vehicle. And we welcome you back to Virginia International Raceway. We go on board right here with Tommy Dreesy, who had to start at the back of the pack, and you can see just how fast that TA car is. Some 900 horsepower up the back straightaway, 180 plus miles per hour here. Hard on the brakes into the left-hander. Danny Lowry with an extremely fast Porsche here. That is an IMSA GT3 spec car. You can see it driving away.
Yeah, and those cars are no slouches. That's very similar to those IMSA cars, but those TAs are fast. As Tommy tries to put the power down and sets off to try to catch the rest of the TA field.
Yeah, Tommy will need a full course caution here if he's going to make up all the distance. By the way, it looks like Annunziata has pulled off of the track. We'll see if we can figure out what's going on there. I'm sure Ben Sissel will be down there following up on that one. The Lucas Oil back machine, MAV TV sponsored vehicle. And he's been flying those colors for a long time. Franklin Road was Ken Thwaite, so Ken Thwaite has jumped on here. Still part of this team, which is who he bought the team from. MAV TV, of course, our partners, our television partners here, and we appreciate all they do. Mission Foods on there, as Juan Gonzalez has come on. He's been a big supporter here. We appreciate everything that they do as well. So flying all the colors, and we'll keep an eye here on the dash and some of the action that goes on. As they run up through these S's, Josh, they literally, if the car's handling right, can sail up through there on the mat.
Yeah, you can flatten the first two. As we get a good look at Eric Foss in that G-Speed Corvette, they're probably also flattening those first two. That right one, though, at the top, sometimes have to do a baby little lift. brake and down a gear for that fast left. Again, makes this track exciting. So much fast stuff as you see Foss wiggle a little bit.
So there's a look at Eric Foss. We were talking about him before. The South Dallas Turf Chevrolet Corvette out of Rochester, Michigan. And Eric Foss has raced pretty much like you, Josh. There's not much he hasn't raced. He's been at the top of the series of pretty much everything he's run, going back to Rolex, Continental Tire, certainly IMSA, Mazdas. I mean, he is a talented driver.
He is, and versatile, and a great guy. It's really nice to see him helping out those G-Speed guys with those Corvettes. Really cool cars. That first race on that car, too, actually. And if you want one, you can call them up and get one just like it.
And there's a look at Thomas Annunziata. He's been struggling with that car, and we heard Ben talk about a lot of new parts and pieces on this one, a futuristic, if you want to call it that, TA car here. So they've been trying to work their way, sort some stuff out. I saw him go out this morning, just make a little pass around to check things out, and I asked him just before he left, I said, do you get everything sorted? He said, I doubt if we have everything sorted. We're going to go out and do the best we can and see what happens, and hopefully we can just get the race underneath our belt. So not a preferred situation for Thomas in his debut here, but it's still great to see him making that step.
It is, and you know what? I can only feel so bad because he got to stand on the top step yesterday, so sometimes you get luck one day.
You're not allowed to look at him as a competitor, man.
You get some luck someday.
You took the helmet off. You got the commentator hat on today, so.
And there you get Chris Coffey in the Maserati. Another team looking to expand, actually. They have a third Maserati, so we may see one of those coming out here next year or maybe even early as Coda. Really cool team, really great guys, very hardworking, dominating the championship this year.
Yeah, Chris Coffey won this last year, and you're right, comes in here with 607 points, closest to him, David Hampton at 300 points. So 7 poles, 6 wins on the season.
Such a cool looking car. How many Maseratis do you get to see racing these days? They're the only two, him and Colin, and again, that third one, hopefully coming soon.
Yeah, doing an incredible job there. Fresh off that win at Watkins Glen and Road America. Last time he didn't win was at Mid-Ohio, and that was courtesy of David Hampton, and we've got one off.
Yeah, off, very different. When you go off there, it can be rough, real easy to get grass packed in the radiator, make the car overheat. Easy to tear a splitter off, so crew will be really looking as he comes by to see if that rad is still clear in that Porsche.
And that is a real thing out here. And let me tell you something, the grounds are groomed about as nicely as you will find anywhere here in the country, but it will pack that radiator with grass. It'll pack the air, the brake ducts with grass. You'll find yourself in trouble. And it's not just radiators for the engine. Look at the difference in classes here, man. I believe that was Richard Grant sailing by here in the 30 car, as he passes a couple of the other class cars. And in the meantime, I knew Ben was going to be down there. So, Ben, let's see if we can find out what happened to Thomas Annunziata.
All right, I'm here with Thomas Annunziata, this beautiful Castrol TA car with Criswell Chevrolet on the hood. I know you've been chasing gremlins all weekend. We knew you were fast yesterday. This has got to be a little bit frustrating.
Definitely a little bit. The win yesterday helps, though, so I can cope with it. But I mean, it's racing. I believe it's an electrical problem. We're not fully sure. We've changed everything in the car, but yeah, this Criswell Chevrolet Castrol Chip Boys TA1 car is beautiful. I just wish it ran as good as it looks, and it does, but just not this weekend. So they worked hard. We all worked hard. It's one of those deals. So hopefully we come back next year and we figure this out and we get some redemption. But it's what was in the cards today.
Well, Josh Hurley, you can speak to this. These TA cars are just so cool that it's hard to go now back to a TA2 car after you've been in a beast like a TA car. But we just saw Chris Dyson come in with a flat tire. I'm going to send it back up to you.
Yeah, those cars are amazing. It's hard, but now we see Chris Dyson limping.
Yeah, Chris Dyson well off the pace here. That will all but end his shot at a championship here as we go into our final round at COTA, but clearly staying off of the course here, being respectful, maybe afraid that there's something leaking out of the bottom. Maybe just went off and he's trying to slowly work his way back on, but I think he can be at a bigger pace than that.
We knew you were fast yesterday. This has got to be a little bit frustrating.
Definitely a little bit. The win yesterday helps, though.
Handful right there,
so
had to catch it.
But I mean, it's racing. I believe it's an electrical problem.
Big moment right there.
Really big moment when it landed.
Yeah, this Chris Wells Chevrolet Castrol Chip Boys TA1 car is beautiful. I just wish it ran as good as it looks, and it does, but it's not.
So Chris Dyson working his way back here onto the track.
Worked hard. It's
and a big moment right there that will cost him a lot of real estate. And look at the steering wheel. It looked like it was not straight, by the way.
Yeah, I wonder if he broke something before he spun. Maybe we could see it right here.
We'll be right back with more action here at VIR. So as you can see there, I don't know if that damage to the steering happened. It looks like it's turned to the right there. I know he's trying to work his way back in, but see if we can take a look at that steering wheel again. But I wonder if that happened before he spun.
And you could see it on the replay. The left rear, something collapsed in the left rear, and the car fell over. It didn't even look like a tire. It looked like a suspension component failure on the left rear, causing him to spin off the track.
So, and now in a different spot here on the track, nosed up to the guardrail.
He's on an escape road, actually. He was being very respectful. It was right on the outside of turn. That's coming back after turn 1 to turn 2. He's trying to keep us from going under yellow, doing a great job, really respectful, true competitor, true sportsman-like behavior. That's what you try to do, keep the race green.
Yeah, and what a shame, of course, a two-time IMSA champ, as we talked about, 4th on the all-time win list. He's competed in NASCAR Xfinity, Formula Atlantic, Pirelli World Challenge, all 3 divisions of USAC as well. Also won the VIR 500 back in 2002. I mean, a great racing resume. Of course, his family name in motorsports is a dynasty. So a shame to see Chris Dyson out of this one.
And now changes the race for Paul Menard. He doesn't have to push. He just needs to bring it home and clinch this champion, or not quite clinch this championship. It still goes to Coda, but he does have a lot easier time now.
Yeah, and that's a shame. We wanted to see these guys duke it out here. Dyson came out here and put down a great lap time one day ago in terms of qualifying, nearly a half second quicker than Paul Menard, as he put a 42.5 on the board to a 42.9. So, I mean, Chris Dyson definitely fast. He always is. Fresh off of a win as well, and will not be out here to fight with him today as you look at the Jim Weed back Mustang.
Yeah, you can even see it here, how you can see that fender almost sitting on that left rear tire. Something in that left rear corner gave out. Tire's still up, but you can see that car sitting on the suspension.
And we welcome you back to Virginia International Raceway. You're looking at the number 16 TA car, Jim Weed back Mustang of Chris Dyson, who qualified on the pole. Unfortunately, something broke on that one. Josh, with his eagle eye, being the knowledge that he has in racing cars, it looks like it's sitting down on the left rear right there, as you noticed. Saw him before, and he came back on. The steering wheel was out just a little bit. Full course caution. I'm not sure what that is for. I wouldn't think it was for Chris Dyson. He is off in a safe area on board here with Tommy Dreesen.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised about full course yellow. Maybe something we haven't seen yet, or maybe there could be some fluid leaking from that collapse. Who knows? We'll find out in a minute, hopefully. Get another look at Tommy Dreesen as he catches up. They should be going code 60, something unique TA does. Well, after the full course yellow comes out, they limit all competitors to 60 miles an hour to get those safety workers out there sooner to make these yellows shorter.
And this is really what Tommy Dreesen needed to get back up into the hunt. He passes a lot of other class cars, gets himself back up here in the hunt, but it's hard to make up all that real estate. Now he'll have the courtesy of the yellow flag will help him get that done.
Exactly. It's a big reset for him. He's going to be having a lot of fun now. I'm sure Grant didn't want to see it. He had a nice little lead there. Good little battle with Amy Ruman, but that's all right. Now we get a bigger battle for us to watch.
Yeah, good for us. Good for the fans at home. We love that as you look at the back of the number 3 GT car out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. 16 seasons and right at 700 starts in NASCAR with wins in Cup, Xfinity, ARCA, driving for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, Yates Racing, Richard Petty Motorsports, Richard Childress Racing, Woods Brother Racing. I mean, the biggest names of all time. 2011 won the Brickyard 400 with Childress. I mean, does it get any better than that? So began ice racing at the age of 15 and won 10 International Ice Racing Association events and still ice races to this day. So Paul Menard loves his craft. He's semi-retired, but he loves Trans Am racing.
Yeah, semi-retired when we were driving a 900 horsepower race car. Nice, easy retirement.
But you know that NASCAR schedule is pretty brutal. So he has young kids who wanted to spend some more time with them, and rightfully so. Of course, yes, that is the son of John and the infamous Menards stores as well. So great to have him out here. Great to have him in the series. Love the competition.
Great patrons of motorsports in general. I mean, his dad's been involved in Indy cars too, stock cars. You can't get away from them. It's great to see. That's what we need in this sport. Keep this sport going.
I make sure I go there any chance I can over the, all the box stores really help out here to some degree, Home Depot and Lowe's as well, but, try to support the people that support our industry. You can see the top part of the driver's door comes off there. That allows a little easier access in and out of the vehicles.
We may get to see the rear suspension. The big tires on these kind of block it, so see if we can get in there, see what fell apart there. But you can see him looking right on that left rear corner, seeing what fell apart.
I don't know, Ben's out on pit road, so they're a little bit far away. I don't know that Ben can get there quickly enough to really help diagnose that issue. But, yeah, we'd love to know what happened there. The car's so fast. Just an absolutely beautiful car. As you take a look at it, he earned his 4th pole one day ago, has 2 wins on the season, 2nd place 5 times, so a total of 7 podiums here this season, and he set fast lap of the race on 3 different occasions. Oh, he is definitely a player.
And this isn't an uncommon problem here. VIR, those S's have humps in them, and they're going really fast. There's so much load pushing down on the car, not only from the air, but from those humps, that it's actually pretty easy to break a suspension component just from those, let alone hitting the curb there, too, which you have to do.
Well, I will say great eye to you, Josh. Clearly something in the back of that car gave way, and it will end Chris Dyson's day early. Much like you, I have to think that they probably threw that caution for some sort of fluids or fluid in the rear dampers, maybe something back there that...
Yeah, who knows? It could even be something like maybe the rear end broke and the rear end housing broke. That would cause it to flop over, and that can put some diff oil on the track, something like that. Really slippery. You don't want that stuff on the track.
All right, Ben Sissel, as always, on the mark here, and he is down there at the Chris Dyson car. Ben, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. I'm down here actually outside of pit lane and basically the paddock down here with the Jim Weed team, Dyson. Obviously, something happened, rear suspension. I'm going to come around here and talk to the driver, Chris, because you could tell that it happened basically right in front of us coming down the front straight. I thought it was a tire, but your tire's inflated.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate outcome for us, Ben. The car's been great all weekend. I was just trying to hold pace, and we were sort of playing cat and mouse with Paul a little bit there. And unfortunately, we're coming down the hill through hog pen there, and the left rear just broke free on me in a very unusual way. And it turns out that it looks like we've broken a shock absorber.
Oh no! And it's very high-speed turn to break a shock absorber. You did a good job of bringing it in, let the team assess it, but it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get back out there.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, it's a shame. We were hoping to get the Jim Weed car and keep it up front, but it's not our day.
Yeah, you've been the class of the field all weekend long. Coming down to championship implications, the Trans Am Pole Award winner here, and you've clinched the championship here at VIR in the past, so this has got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a character-building year, Ben. We've been fast everywhere, and it's just unfortunate we haven't been able to show the consistency, but, we've proven we've done it. We can do it in the past, and I'm sure we can come back and do it again.
Well, that's Chris Dyson down here, obviously heartbroken. The whole team's down here looking at it, assessing the situation. But they're going to get this thing ready. It's going to be fast, the Circuit of the Americas, in just a few weeks. Back up to you, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Really nice job there. And so a rear damper, we were figured something like that was suspect here. And, man, it's just a shame. You've had those years where things just don't go your way whenever you're chasing that championship. And then there's years where things shouldn't go your way, but they do, and you win the championship.
I know how Chris feels. I'm having one of those years, too. But, that left rear suspension failure, not a surprise here, because this is one of the hardest tracks on those shocks because all those humps. So things to have that sort of bad luck, but they'll bounce back. They do great prep. I'm sure that next year's got to be scared. I think he's used all his bad luck up this year. So he's due for really good luck next year, which is scary for the whole field.
Danny Lowry, as we go on board with him, currently second in class behind Brian Locke. Brian Locke, we would anticipate it would be very, very difficult to beat out here in the XGT category. a lot of seat time in the IMSA series. I'm sure runs SRO to a degree as well.
He even ran back in the Coney Challenge days, back in that Subaru a little bit. So he's been around a lot too, almost as much as like a Foss has. So Brian's no slouch, been around here, and I think that team's based up here, isn't it? With that beautiful Porsche. And they were also ran a car in the TA2 class.
Yeah, out of Beach Island, South Carolina, as everybody is stacked back up here as well. We'll see if we go back green at this one or if we're going to run one more. They said one more lap, but that was a little bit ago. I wasn't sure if it was right when we were starting this final lap or if we're going to go. I think we're going to go one more time by, unfortunately, but want to make sure whatever it is that they're taking care of, they will get cleaned up properly. Lights are still on there with the safety car. That's always an indicator.
Yep,
the official we are going to go green.
Yep, the official lights out is at the next corner. So if we can get one look at that in the next corner, we will know.
Paul Menard up there in front, and of course the number 40 car of Keith Grant right behind him, part of the Dreesy Motorsports Showtime team. The Chevrolet Camaro. And a good look at the 43 car there as well. Billy Griffin out of Palm Beach, Florida, making his debut in the Extreme GT category. Lights are out on the safety car.
So this is one of my favorite parts. Racing today has gotten so hard to follow with all the arrows, so a lot of your passing is done on these starts and restarts. So now it's time to pull those belts tight, do some weaves, get those tires cleaned off, concentrate on getting a jump on your competition on this start, and see if you can make something happen.
Do you pull them tight again because they just typically loosen up, or do you actually loosen them a little bit to breathe?
No, they just loosen up a little bit. No matter how hard I tighten them, they always lose those shoulder ones.
I'm
just
glad
creep
you said
loose
that,
a little
because
bit.
if I loosened mine and with plans of tightening it back up, I would never remember. Well, I guess I would in the first turn, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would. You want to be in there tight. You feel the car better, and nice safe driver is a nice fast driver.
Through the roller coaster section of this, and again, you can see a little bit of the elevation change, but I promise you it is a big elevation change here. 11 laps to go inside of this one. So that's a long ways to go, though, by the way. 3.27 miles around here. It takes a little bit to get around, the better part of 2 minutes. 1:44 for these guys. Paul Menard with his quick lap at a 1:44.8. Coming down the front straightaway, we will look for the green flag here at the VIR flag stand. He squeezes on the throttle a little bit early. Here we go. Amy Ruman looking to the outside of Grant. Would love to take advantage of this. You talked about this before, Josh. This is when you can get it done. Here comes Amy. Right up on the back bumper of Paul Menard. Grant down on the inside. They're duking it out back behind them. And Grant drives it in a little bit deeper. Looks like he's going to be able to hang on to it. Amy around the outside, trying to hang on as they come up into turn number 3. She's going to get it done.
That's the best thing about turn 1. You can make the outside or the inside work because turn 3 goes the other way. Now Tommy's got to be whetting his appetite to get around Grant. He's going to be trying really hard right now.
Yeah, this really worked into Tommy Dreesy's favor as he was able to close back up on the back of this TA field after starting dead last on the grid. Now he has Keith Grant right there in his crosshairs, his teammate, by the way.
Let's go see Amy charge down, get Paul Menard. I'd love to see that. I would love to see Amy win another race in TA. It's been a little while. She's done it before, and let's see if she can do it again.
16 career wins here with the Trans Am Series. She's a 2-time champ, as we talked about, going back to 2015 and 16. First woman to win the coveted Trans Am Championship title in the 49-year history of the series. So excellent job here.
Something neat in the front of her car, if your viewers picked it out. You see the front of Amy's car, you'll see a bunch of chains. If you're wondering what those chains are, they swing and they knock some of that grass that can get built up on the radiator off. So if you're wondering why you see just regular chains hanging off the front of the car, that's what it's for, cleaning grass from off the radiator or off the grill.
Yeah, we heard, I believe Ben had mentioned that earlier during some of our TSSA races. And, yeah, what a great idea, obviously, to clean some of that stuff off, because you'd hate for something like that to ruin your race, and it certainly could do so. As once again, we look at the Lucas Oil back machine of Tommy Dreesy. Tommy from Hollywood, California, has an agency in the movie industry.
And flying. Let's see how his lap times look. Ryan versus Amy.
Number of podiums in ALMS, competed in NASCAR as well. Nationwide series.
And Amy drawing away from Grant Dreesy. Great to see. Let's see if she can go run down Paul. That would be amazing. But back on board with Tommy. Let's see how that car is working. Actually looks like a little bit of understeer to me, which is a little surprising. Maybe he's saving tires for later. As you can see, rear almost never stepping out, still but on a lot of throttle, but a lot of wheel in that car.
You could see him pull that gear a little bit early so he could get back in the throttle and be ready to rip.
Let's see if we can ride on board the Essence. Let's see if he's flat through the first two. It's really hard to, not quite.
Breathing it right there, big. And if the car is right and happy, if you watch onboard from Zilich a year ago, he was 167 miles an hour up through there.
Yeah, it is one of the best rides in motorsport as a TA car up the Essence.
He'll diamond off this turn right here. That is 2 turns, but a lot of people, obviously Tommy Dreesy, like to diamond that one off. They turn it into one big, long sweeper back there with the Bennett Bridge Hall Oak Tree turn.
And here we go, flying down the straightaway. Should see speeds north of 180 miles an hour. Let's see if we get there. Not quite. So we're struggling for straight speed a little bit, which might mean we're struggling with power down.
And I do wonder if that was part of getting off the turn. Maybe you lost some right there.
Exactly. It carries you all the way down that straightaway.
Down through the roller coaster part of this. Now you can see the big elevation change as the turns just fall away. The big compression on the left rear right there. That's where Dyson's damper gave up that left rear, feeling all of that compression. We're racing here at VIRginia International Raceway with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So once again, coming back here and watching the intense racing, Menard has been out front since the drop of the green flag as Dyson spun the tires just a little bit. We go back and we take a look at the number 42 car of Danny Lowry out of Beach Island, South Carolina, looking to make it a hat trick here, 122 and 23. And the hula girl on the dash.
I was going to be fancy and call that an analog G-sensor. We can tell how hard the car's turning by how far she leads.
That's my plot graph right there, man.
Exactly. That's the fancy data system, right? I'm sure.
That's great, Josh. I love that.
But this is actually one of my favorite sections of the track. We're a lot of lap time here trying to keeping that power down. The car is always squirmy as you climb those curves. Really fun car to drive, those Mercedes. Let's see if he keeps it a flat. Almost geared down.
Do that high-speed left-hander right there. Get back there to turn 10. It is big. And here's that long, what they've turned into a long sweeper, if you will. It's 2 90-degree turns, but do you take it that way?
I actually treat it as 2 separate corners. I make sure to miss that first apex, get all the way to the left and parallel with the curb, then turn in again. It's a little bit of a speed trick that some of these guys have figured out and some don't. Corner's really challenging though, because it's very awkward braking, really easy to overdrive. Really easy to overdrive here on the end of the straightaway too, because the brake zone is always turning and squirming, which makes the cars really nervous.
Yeah, I think that's part of the challenge of this track and something that we love so much is these elevation changes really play a role here and want to send the momentum and weight of the vehicle off the track. So it's a tricky place, and it's very high speed at the end, very high speed up through the S's as well. So much fun, and that's why we absolutely love it here. And we welcome everybody back here on MAV TV. You are watching the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We're at VIRginia International Raceway, the penultimate round here. Just 2 to go here in 2024. I believe that's a look at Cobbs right there. Unfortunately received a penalty to kick off this particular race. We find the 02 car, and that is Kaylee Bryson competing in the Super GT category. Kaylee Bryson driving for Aaron Pierce in the Pierce Chevrolet series as well. Aaron Pierce not here this weekend competing in a wing sprint car event. He's extremely talented in that, but she's extremely talented in this. Cutting her teeth in sports car racing. She could lock it up this weekend. 2023 TA debut at Sebring. She's the only female to ever make the Chili Bowl A main. She did it in 2022, finished 18th. You're not familiar with the Chili Bowl? It is the most impressive midget race on the planet. 350 cars show up to try and qualify for 24 spots. She qualified for one of those 24 spots, driving for Keith Kunz Motorsports. She's extremely talented, and it's great to see her out here cutting her teeth in road racing. She said she absolutely loves it. doesn't care about the dirt. I don't know if she doesn't care about the dirt anymore, but she wants to stay out here road racing and possibly make her way up into NASCAR, maybe IndyCar, wherever the doors open. But it's great to see Kaylee Bryson out here, and hopefully she will secure that championship.
I believe she has. I believe she takes the start today. She is your champion. She is your champion. So she is clinched. So she's having a pressure-free drive and can just learn and get better and push
How
that
fun
car.
is that? Knowing you've got it wrapped up. You come out of 3 wins on the season, 6 podiums. So fabulous job for her as we go back on board with Tommy Dreese, the Franklin Road backed machine, along with MAV TV. Of course, Lucas Oil has always been on this car for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, Lucas Oil and Matt and Mission have all been on that car for a while. You see Tommy's trying to catch Milton, and Amy's holding off a little bit, working through traffic, getting by Rami there. It's a really awkward place to catch traffic.
Yeah, Grant was right there. Very difficult for these cars to pass up through the S's. I mean, to get side by side here would be a pretty tough decision to make. But you do want to keep them close, right? See if you can get a run, and this is exactly what we're talking about. If you can get a good run off of this, what we would call the Bennett Bridgehall Oak Tree turn, and we haven't talked about Oak Tree, but he gets a good run right here, and he for sure has her in the crosshairs.
Yeah, just a really hard passing zone down the straightaway because that braking zone is always wiggling. So she's going to probably try to set him up for turn 1. Tommy may get a little bit of view of it. You can see him just a little bit ahead of him.
And for the fans at home that aren't familiar with this racetrack, why we call it Oak Tree Turn when you don't see an oak tree down there, we have to take you back in time just a little bit. There used to be a massive oak tree back there, and consequently it just became Oak Tree Turn. And we all affectionately still know it that way, as once again we take a look at Keith Grant. He's getting oh so close as he duck out right here. Does he try to dive bomb her going down into Mission Foods turn number 1? There it is. He looks to the inside. Can he make it happen? She passed him around the outside a little bit earlier, a little contact right there as he slides out, squeezes just a little bit, but he gets it done.
He did exactly what you want to do. Get in front of him and park it. Because if you don't fully get in front of him and park it, they have the opportunity to keep it on the outside. So he did a perfect job of making that pass done. Exactly what we're talking about. Got a good run out of that last corner, used the toe, stopped in front of her on the brakes, and now he's going to set sail and try to run down Paul.
Keith Grant, son of Richard Grant, who is also competing out here. Richard Grant made his debut back in 1999. We talked about him having well over 600 starts. I was talking to Keith about his dad a day ago. I said, the old guy's still out here getting it done. He said, man, he absolutely loves it to this day. And his brother Milton, again, over 600 starts. So the brothers have been passionate about racing, he said, his entire life.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. You very rarely get to see a family competing, not all on the same weekend, let alone the same race. And there he goes, trying to run down Paul. Let's see if he can do it. We'll see the lap time update, another lap or so.
Right, a good look at these cars just ripping down through here this back straightaway. That is Tommy Dreese now, and we'll keep an eye on the lap times here. I wonder if Amy Ruman will fall back into the grips of Tommy Dreese now as well. She was up into second past this last lap by Keith Grant. Now in third, we go on board with Danny Lowry once again in the Extreme GT category, leading that one. They'll make their way back by here. We'll take a look, lap time, last lap time at 150.7 for Amy Ruman, a 148.6 for Tommy Dreese. So he is definitely closing the gap there on Amy Ruman. We'll try to keep an eye on that as well and see if he can make that pass.
And there we see Danny doing his job managing that tire because he's doing really well in the class. So he's just going to keep managing and taking care of it.
Mercedes so capable as well. Beautiful cars.
Exactly. He's been trying to run down Locke, but Locke has a little bit of a gap. So right now, Danny just needs to take care of the tires and maybe either hope for another yellow or something comes to him as he gets by Foss here.
Multi-class racing. You can see some of the slower class cars being very respectful. Keeping an eye there in the mirrors. Probably also, I would think, that not uncommon to have a couple, 2, possibly 3 spotters around this track. And one of those areas in the back by the Q3 turn 17, sometimes referred to as hog pen. Making their way back here through turn 4, then 5A and 5B.
And here we go, looking at that beautiful Merc and that Corvette coming up. Coming up those S's. Just trying to track down Locke. Locke is really moving, so Danny Lowry's really got to push to get to him.
Stretching out here just a little bit, Tommy Dreesy now.
With a windshield full of Amy Ruman. So he's getting close. Let's see. And Amy's held up by traffic, so here we go. He's going to try to use that traffic as a pick to get by her. Can he make the run happen? Got a little bit of a toe here.
On the front straightaway, Amy Ruman ducks down, takes that bottom line. I'm sure will protect down here on the bottom while she is there. There she goes. Very seasoned veteran. Actually leaves a little bit open, but not enough for Dreesy to think he wants to take a shot at it. Follows her right in line, and I think that typically you want to use that lapper as a pick, but sometimes that lapper can help you too.
Exactly. Traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. Oh, Amy got a little wide there. This is an opportunity for Tommy. If he can really squeeze it in, he's pulling her off her line. He's getting her to defend, which slows her down. So he's going to be able to be the attacker now and keep pulling her out of position, which makes it really hard for her and easy to make a mistake.
So a lot of seat time here for Amy as well. She knows up through the S's here. That pass most likely will not happen. Just stand on the throttle, eyes forward.
Yeah, I expect the pass will happen in turn one unless this traffic plays.
They'll bump up underneath there safely, and looks like we've got a slow mover back here as well. Definitely the battle here. This is for third. Oh! And that was unprovoked. I saw no contact there. Now, big moment there. Tommy Dreesy able to stay out of the back of her. And we welcome you back to Virginia International Raceway. That is Amy Ruman coming back on the track after going through the Bennett Bridge Hall Oak Tree turn. Unfortunately, spun that one out. Tommy Dreesy was right behind her and managed to stay off the back bumper. We will go back here and take a look at it one more time.
All right, so let's see. Amy displaces that apex a little bit. She's going to get on brake. It always gets greasy here. Just too much trail braking there, and the car broke free. Tommy nowhere to go, but I think he didn't get into her, so he's just going to have to maneuver around and try to go. We'll see on board from Tommy now.
Yeah, Tommy did not lose a spot there to another TA car either, and yeah, I agree with you. Tommy clean on this one. Never touched her. She just lost it.
And you can see she went around right when she touched the brakes. When you touch the brakes, that makes the car turn sharp, so she just what we call trail brake. A little too much brake while turning. Brought that rear end of the car around. Really easy to do, especially now that the oak tree's not there. It's slippery.
Yeah, you mentioned that before when the oak tree was up. That part of the track actually had a little more grip because the track was a little bit cooler than courtesy of the shade.
Exactly, and that's why, and it's even worse, that black patch there, that black absorbs all the sun, gets super greasy. It was really difficult yesterday, clearly difficult today.
So tough break there. Amy Ruman had a great run going up in second place there for a while. Eventually was passed by Keith Grant, and Tommy Dreesy was applying pressure, so she was leaning on the car as hard as she could. And knowing you're coming back on that back straightaway, you want to get a good run off of that turn and try and protect that position. Unfortunately, it was a little too much.
And it's always better to go down swinging than not trying. Oh yeah, that does bring that XGT car to a podium
How about
spot.
that? Brian Locke, third overall in the XGT car. We knew the Porsche would be fast, but I don't think we anticipated it being that fast. The Helium Mobile sponsored machine, JDI Blockjoy Porsche GT3R. And once again, keeping an eye on Amy Ruman here. Looks like the car is okay. Possible flat spots.
Very unlikely. That was a slow enough spin. You didn't see any smoke pouring off the tires, so probably just some dirt in the tires from rolling off, but she should still be good to go.
Round 10 here for the TA category. This one and one to go as the series will go to Circuit of the Americas, affectionately known as COTA over there. Of course, in Austin, Texas, an incredible race course as well. And there's a look at Brian Locke.
What a beautiful livery in that Helium Mobile car. Really eye-catching. There's our MCO Gears lap leader, Paul Menard, still leading this race overall and driving away.
That car was sparkling underneath the tent. You see it out in the sunshine. It is incredible. Beautiful, beautiful car. First event for that team out here this year, so it's great to have both of them out here. They're a two-car effort.
Yeah, and I believe they had a TA2 car out there yesterday. I got to see it. Thing was beautiful looking too.
Yeah, painted almost identical as I recall. So, yeah, TA2 and this GT3 and side of the XGT category. So we appreciate them coming out here and playing the game with us before the season was over.
And those Porsches are really cool cars. One of the few six-cylinder cars out here without a turbo. Just really powerful small six-cylinder motor in there. You can see them run in other series too. Those GT3 Porsches are a beautiful work of art. If you're here at the track, make sure you look at one up close. They are gorgeous.
You can see that green side plate as well in the rear wing. That would be a GTD indicator on the IMSA side.
Exactly.
Well, look at our time and scoring board over there. You can see that Brian Locke with that Porsche, third overall. That is extremely impressive. However, Dreesy, hard on the brakes there to stay out of the back of Amy Ruman's car whenever she lost it there around Oak Tree Turn. So being respectful there, did not want to tear up the two cars, and that allowed Brian Locke to jump up in there to third overall. Good look, car looks really, really happy right here. Back out onto the front straightaway as we continue to knock the laps down. Once again, we continue on here.
And it looks like, looking at time and scoring, that SGT battle's closing up. So hopefully we'll get a view of that. But it looks like Kaylee's starting to catch Joshua Carlson. So that should get really interesting in just a little bit. Good on timing. So hopefully we'll get a glimpse of that. Foss still driving away in there.
Yeah, about 8/10 behind him. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
And there's Billy Griffin. It's his first time in this series in that Mercedes, not in his usual Ford Mustang. Doing a great job in that Mercedes. Really fun car to drive. I'm sure he's enjoying it. Haven't gotten a chance to talk to him about it, but I'm sure he's loving it. Such a different car. Such a different thing to adapt to, having all that extra downforce.
Keeping it on the 43 car here as well. That is Griffin. Griffin and Lowry just ahead in the 42.
Oh, I think he's actually catching his teammate there. Not bad for his first time in that car.
Got to feel good.
Exactly.
And sometimes you get out here and you get kind of in that rhythm once you can get some laps underneath your belt.
Exactly, especially your first time in a car, getting used to all that aero. Really different than his usual Mustang.
Closing the laps down here. We're getting closer to the end of this one in round 10. And one more time, take a look at that gorgeous Mercedes. Coming up on another, oh man, some issues there for another class car.
Yeah, that's Michael Saya, and a little bit of bodywork flapping, no big deal.
And once again, we welcome you back here to Virginia International Raceway. This is round 10 of the Trans Am Series, presented by Pirelli. We go on board here with Danny Lowry. And we were just talking about this before in XGT. His teammate closing the gap here just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So rookie teammate catching. Well, not rookie to the series, but rookie to the car catching us. That puts the pressure on. Come on, Danny, got to respond. Let's see if you can get away from him.
Looks like about 7 more laps here to go. Some of the sweets there on the front straightaway. The fans up there enjoying a beautiful day out here. Partly cloudy, so just enough to keep some of the temperatures down. Mid-70s or so, mid to upper 70s.
And the Pirelli tires are happy about that, because when it gets hot, this place gets greasy. So it's happy it's a little cooler today than yesterday.
Yeah, and I chatted with you about it in the TA2 category. These tires really good. I mean, they settle in, and there's not too much tire deck.
Yeah, there's very little. We had a little bit yesterday, but it's more the track evolving rather than the Pirelli's degging. The track just gets so hot and gets covered in Pirelli rubber. That rubber gets a little slimy when you have the sun baking on it. But that little cooler temperature today preventing a lot of the deg, not so much deg, but a lot of that slipperiness that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I actually heard one of the drivers here in TA said they felt like the track was polished, which is a way to put it as well. Look at them eating those curves, running up through the S's, trying to straighten it out as much as absolutely possible. And the SGT leader, that is Eric Foss. We talked about Kaylee Bryson a little bit earlier. winning the championship. But Eric Voss has shown up here this weekend, and he says, I would like to take a win this year.
He did, and I talked to the team before the race today. They're really excited to have Eric in this car, brand new car, really want to show off this G-Speed Corvette. They turn these street Corvettes into these wild things. So if you want a wild Corvette, give those guys a call. They make an awesome race car, as you can see, as Voss is out there leading the race with it. Really fast car, too. Really go flying down that straightaway. Those things are incredibly fast for production-based cars.
Yeah, great looking hot rod. Lean hard in there, and you can see how sharp that right-hander is as they enter that roller coaster area. Big high-speed left-hander here. Again, headed downhill, and then the big compression into turn 17.
Yeah, and then the car, when it lands in that 17, some of the cars bottom out. Some of them all get squirmy. You can tell it puts a lot of load on the dampers, as we saw earlier from Chris's failure. So much vertical load around this track that you don't see other places. That's why I kind of call it America's Nürburgring, because they have a lot of humps and jumps. We have that here, too. As they get around someone coming out of the pits, always makes it a little dicey moment.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And somebody facing the wrong direction there as well. So things really kind of crazy. One off of pit road. People trying to run at race pace into the Mission Foods turn number 1, and somebody facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, that always makes things a busy time. Out of pit road, a car spun. That's a very adventurous turn 1.
Yeah, if there's any of the spotters over there, and they'll typically stand on the hill around 5A, 5B, and you can see most of that action coming off of pit road or down into the Mission Foods turn number 1. In fact, you can see all the way up through the S's, and you can actually see up through turn 10 and the Oak Tree turn and part of the back straightaway, depending on how many campers are in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Though I usually stand on top of the restaurant when I spot overlooking turn 3, so I can see turn 1 a little better, because turn 1 that's where the action is.
Paul Menard, we have not spoke of him here recently. 25 laps in here, working 26, and of course he has been out front since the drop of the green flag. Chris Dyson started off on the pole, but squeezed onto that 900 horsepower monster, spun the rear tires. It opened up the door for Paul Menard to take over first place going into the Mission Foods turn number 1. He did so and has been there ever since.
As he gets by Joshua Carlson, running second in SGT. Really, really small budget program, doing a great job with his car. Since he's here, I want to highlight him because that's a difficult car to drive. He does a great job. And we went to full course yellow.
And that, my guess is that car sitting in the wrong direction there in turn number 1. We've yet to hear much more about that, but
it is. There it is right there on our monitor. He's sitting right on that. Is that turn 1?
That is the double zero of Raymond Cobbs. That's a TA car, and now has it fired up and backing up out of the way.
That's always the way it is. These things are so hard to start when they're that hot, and then they sit and they heat soak and they get harder to start. So that's not him just sitting there and waiting for the yellow. They're just very difficult to crank when they're warm.
And a good look at the Master Force Tools number 3 of Paul Menard. Talked about all of his accomplishments. Well, not all of his accomplishments, a handful of his accomplishments. But I think the big one is the 700 starts. I mean, that is a ton of seat time. Somebody that's very comfortable inside of that car in any given situation. So he'll take this time right here and, of course, cool things down. But that will allow Keith Grant to get up on the back bumper. We'll see if he has anything for him whenever we come back. So a lot of racing yet to do here at VIR. Stay with us.
Great time.
How hot is it inside of these cars whenever you slow down like this?
Oh,
that's when you feel it, right?
It is, but I have to say, Cool Suit technology has come a long way. Those ones that are mini AC systems, there's a couple different brands that are. It's not just a chest of ice anymore. Now they're little mini air conditioners that pumps cold water on, and they are unbelievable these days. So you can be nice and comfy and cool when you have those systems on as you relax. Still gets warm, but you know it's way more comfortable than it was even 5 years ago. Tech keeps evolving. We see here on Tommy's car that windshield brace fell down. Actually, will slow you down. Actually, will slow you down in a straight line a little bit with that windshield caving in.
So yeah, it'll push the center of that windshield in there, and the arrow won't I don't think there's any danger of blowing it through, but like you said, it's just not supporting it. Will actually become concave right in the center.
Exactly, just cause a little bit of drag. But this, I'm just getting word that this should be a really quick recovery, so we should be going green very soon.
That'll be great here towards the end of this race, of course, and we'd like to see him run these last 4 or 5 laps at full steam, under full anger, if you will. This is going to allow Tommy Dreese, I believe, to close up on the back of Keith Grant, so we'll see how things shake out there. With that said, I don't see, didn't see Tommy in that little group. What happened to Tommy?
And while we're on him, Rami, that was his first Trans Am start in the 53 Porsche, so make sure we give him a little shout out for coming out here. Very first Trans Am start.
And once again, following the pace car back around here, so hopefully they'll turn the lights out there if this is quick now that Cobbs is out of the way. Get this thing going here one more time towards the end of this one. And we welcome you back here to Virginia International Raceway. Just a handful of laps to go in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, round number 10 here at VIR. We had a caution, unfortunately for Raymond Cobbs, who was turned the wrong direction down towards Mission Foods turn number 1, was able to fire it up, back the car out of the way. So we're hoping we might have the possibility of going back green here on this lap. And it looks like the lights might have just gone out here.
I can't quite tell. They have to go out at the oak tree, I believe. So wish we can get a little better angle. I think it might be one more lap.
We'll find out here in just a moment. And they are saying that lights are still on. So since that's the case, Ben Sissel once again hard at work. Let's get it back down to pit lane. Ben?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I'm down here with the 3GT team. I have Tony Gentilozzi here, but this team has been together a long time. They've won like 8 or 9 championships in the Trans Am Series, but championships in other series too, and your dad has won championships in Trans Am. They know how to win championships, and it looks like you guys are very calm here as we get to the end of the season, and Paul has a pretty big lead in the championship.
Yes, absolutely. Our goal today was to just finish the race. We can conservatively compete in the last 2, and it's going to be fine for us, but I don't think Paul wanted to do that, so we let him race.
I love that because that's who Paul is. Paul Menard, we know he knows how to win at the highest level, so that's really cool to see. I know, though, the competitive spirit of 3GT, I know you hate to see competitors go out with mechanicals.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to see that for Chris. He's a great competitor, and most of the fun is racing with him, so we hate to see it end like that.
But it does still come down to COTA because mathematically we believe Dyson had to take the green flag, but now he's going to have a huge hill to climb in just a few weeks at the COTA SpeedTour. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. And, of course, that Gentilozzi name just as big as a Menard name when it comes to racing as well. So a dynamic duo, if you will.
I mean, can you get bigger? We have Menard, Gentilozzi, and Dyson in one race. So there's big names here. You see MCO lap leader, still Paul Menard, as he's been dominating this race from the drop.
Oh, we're being told they're going around here one more time, unfortunately, and then they will turn them loose. It looks like 3 to go in anger, which will set up quite the shootout for sure. Keith Grant's there behind Menard, and then it shows Dreese on timing and scoring behind Locke. Of course, Locke was able to get past him when he and Amy had their moment in the back. There was no contact there, but he had to get hard on the brakes to miss Amy, who unfortunately spun it out there in the oak tree turn.
And there should be a lot of class battles to watch, too, on this restart, because this draws up not just our leaders, but the class leaders. With just a few laps left. Always an interesting moment to battle for everything with only a few minutes to go. Makes for interesting decisions and for some great TV.
Beautiful overhead shot there from the drone. Headed through 10, and then back there would be where the oak tree stood in the right-hand portion of the grass, just as the safety car is coming through right now. That's where the oak tree used to stand proudly as they work their way back onto the back straightaway.
And they should be going to green this time. We should be looking for lights out right about now. Time to clean those tires off. That's why you see the weaving and scrubbing any of that debris these hot tires pick up on these slow pace laps.
So yeah, we were talking about cooling things down, but then you get to the point where you want to keep some heat in the tires, correct?
Exactly, and you can't let the tires get too cold even on the pace lap, because what happens, the colder you let them get, and then when you reheat them up, it actually makes them harder. These tires are really prone to mini heat cycling under the yellow, and they don't fire back the same. So you end up with a different race car at the top of the green than you had before, and you're only going to have 3 laps to adapt, so you really don't want that. So they're trying to keep temperature in it.
In the super late model dirt racing world, they would call it sealing over, and you can see them. They'll actually put the tires up on a device, on a machine, and they'll buff off that top surface. Clearly, you don't have that opportunity to do so here, still in the middle of the race.
Exactly, but yep, lights are out. We can confirm that. So we are going green with 3 to go this time. Gonna be exciting. Hopefully pull those belts tight one more time, take a sip from your drink bottle, and be ready to battle.
It'll be fun to watch him go as Menard looking to claim yet another win here on the season. He has 5 so far, a total of 8 podiums. In control of the field, the pace car has pulled off and onto pit road. Dyson bringing him down the front straightaway. Looking at the flag stand. We'll squeeze onto this one. Keith Grant right behind him. Dreesy back just a couple of spots here. And here comes Dreesy. Dreesy trying to get around Brian Locke there just in the back. He does so nicely up into 3rd place. He'll be able to see the back of Keith Grant now. Amy Ruman coming with Dreesy around the outside of Brian Locke. That'll put Brian 5th overall as the TA cars just muscle their way by. We talked about this while we were at commercial break here, Josh. That is a windshield support there that has fallen down, and it actually can hurt his aero, especially coming back down that straightaway.
Exactly. It hurts your straightaway just a little bit, but otherwise okay. Not dangerous. Doesn't affect the balance of the car, but can affect that straight speed, which is really important for passing.
Yeah, at 180 miles an hour, or even right here up through the S's, it'll concave that front windshield. It'll actually sink it down in, right in the center of it. No danger of it coming loose, but yeah, not preferred for aero.
And Amy's on the attack now. I think she needed that tire cool-off time, so she's going to be pushing Tommy real hard right now. She had a really good start. Actually started to get around one of the cars almost in the grass around the outside, right on that initial start, making the benefit of those starts and restarts. Got to do it.
Love the fact that they still have to reach over with their right hand and row the lever. Absolutely love it.
And Brian Locke on the curb, leading his class, trying to chase those TAs. I think he was being very smart and letting those TAs through to efficiently. Being passed when you're the slower class is actually a very difficult challenge, and you want to be efficient and let them go in a smooth process so they slow you down less. That way he can keep his lead in class.
Yeah, he's been the class of the XGT field. His teammate Billy Griffin also having a great run. Brian Locke as well has competed in the GT category here. Had a successful career with Nissan. As we are running the final laps here, round 10, Virginia International Raceway with 1 event to go. It'll go to Circuit of the Americas in Austin.
And that's where Kaylee's going to have a lot of fun, being the 3rd female champion in Trans Am since she's clinched this weekend. She gets to go to COTA and just have fun and just push. No points
worries. I wonder if that's Kaylee right there closing up.
It is. Looks like she was closing up on Foss.
I mean, that would be something special if she could get around Foss. And that's exactly what's going on here. We thought Foss would come in here and win this one handedly. He has a lot of laps around this place. Kaylee has never raced here, so it took her a little bit to get up to speed. But she is once again flexing her muscles. An extremely talented race car driver she is.
And I'm sure they've been on the radio with her telling her she's clinched, so she's free to push and go for it. No worries. Just get that green Corvette and in your windshield, go get them.
Great to watch her come to life, and it looks like we are going to have a battle here in this SGT category. We talked about the championship being wrapped up, but this race is not.
Ooh, she got a little wide in the S's, lost about a car length to Foss. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but you can't give Eric a cookie like that, because he's going to take that whole glass of milk. He's going to keep pulling away if you give him just that one little foot.
Maybe she can come back. She still has some time. She's not that far back. She might have a run right here.
Really good exit.
2023 became the first female to win in the SCCA Silver Crown Series Rookie of the Year. Extremely accomplished in open wheel racing in terms of midget sprint cars, Silver Crown, but her first year here in sports cars, getting used to all of these tracks, is Paul Menard, the overall leader, coming back down the front straightaway. And he'll pick up the white flag. There it is. One lap yet to go here at Virginia International Raceway for the number 3 Master Force Tools car.
I'm going to check timing just to see where Foss and Dyson are, because I know it's close. Their last lap time was only a 10th apart.
And she got around him.
She did.
Kaylee has gotten around Eric Foss, and I'm going to tell you, if you had asked me to put some money on that one earlier today, I'd be losing right now. I hate to bet against her, but the fact that she hadn't raced here and going against Eric, who has a million laps around here, looks like Keith Grant having some issues here.
Exactly. That's great on her. Any day you can beat Eric Foss is a day you can be proud. She can truly call herself a road racer today, I think.
So Keith Grant in the 40 car with some issues here on this last lap. What a shame, as he was in second place. That puts Tommy Dreese up into second. Amy Ruman will bump up into third, back into a podium position. Watching Paul Menard make his way through. There's a look at Kaylee Bryson. And that is Eric Foss right there behind her. Keith Grant behind them, of course, in the TA class. But these are the SGT cars. Spoke with her briefly yesterday. I said, how do you like it here? She said, I absolutely love this racetrack. I just need a little more seat time. And she got the seat time here today, 75 minutes of it.
She did, and got to get herself in a rhythm, which if you give a dirt racer some time to adapt, they usually will figure it out, because that's what they grew up doing, and she's done a ton of that.
Well, she's felt pressure from the best in the business when it comes to that. So to see her make a mistake here on this last lap, I would not expect it. And nor would I expect it out of this guy. What a great run for the number 3 driver out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Crew out there to salute. Great job, Paul Menard.
Paul Menard grabbing that win here. An incredible effort out of him this season. It's his 6th win on the season. His 9th podium on the season. Once again, will set fast lap of the race as well. So spectacular effort out of him. And a step closer to winning this championship. He does not have it locked up mathematically, but boy, does he have a stranglehold on it.
He does. He has a pretty easy race for him next, but then Bryson beating Foss officially, and Brian Locke taking the win in XGT.
And Eric Foss was right there right at the end. If she made any sort of mistake at all, she would have been passed in the back and also seen the XGT category as well. So congratulations there to Brian Locke winning XGT, Kaylee Bryson winning in SGT as well.
And what happened in GT? Oh, there it goes. GT flipped back. GT flipped the back around. It looks like Chris Coffey got it in GT, or did Michael Saya? I'm seeing two different things.
And another look at that beautiful car right there. So things are wrapped up here. We will take a quick break. We'll be back here in just a couple of moments to Virginia International Raceway. Wow, what a great battle there in SGT. And what was that? Last lap, or was it the last lap pass, I believe?
I think it was coming to
or
the last
second
lap.
To last lap, yeah.
Coming to the white.
Well, that's right. She had to be good on that last lap, and she was. So what a battle there. And congrats to Tommy Dreese. Started dead last on the grid, and of course had the help of a couple of caution flags, but works his way up. Finishes second with the Lucas Oil back machine. Amy Ruman, even after that spin, stays calm, keeps the car in one piece, and makes her way up into a podium position as well.
Exactly, and Tommy wasn't distracted by his windshield caving in.
Tommy's got a lot of voices in that head, man. It's probably all good, man.
This is also a fun moment, too, that cool down lap where all the tension goes away. You had a great weekend. You bring back to the trailer clean. Really fun moment.
Yeah, no big moments, right? I don't think I saw any real damage or any real hits, car-to-car type of stuff.
I did see someone off there. It looked like Michael Saya off on corner exit there of the roller coaster, which I think cost him a GT podium. If I have timing in front of me, it looks like we have Chris Coffey winning GT and Rami in his first Trans Am race, P2.
Yeah.
So great for him. And Colin Cohen looks like grabbing a podium, which is great for Colin. Chris Coffey's teammate, been in this series for first year this year. Great job for him getting a podium.
Yeah, out of South Lake, Texas. Glad they made the trip over, and it looks like it is going to pay off. We'll be happy with that one as they make their way back on the pit road. Boy, these cars just, absolutely incredible vehicles. I love the way they sound. And once again, we welcome everybody back here to Virginia International Raceway for the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Round 10 now in the books. Paul Menard doing an incredibly good job here, leading this one pretty much flag to flag after Dyson starting on the pole, spun the tires initially on the hit there, and that opened up the door for the green and black number 3 to make it into first place. Black and green wrecking machine. Kind of remember that one from back in the day, but Paul Menard out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, doing a great job here as he picks up his 6th win on the season and his 9th total podium. Will pad that points lead a little bit more. Not enough to win it, not enough to lock it up mathematically, but boy, he will go into the final event of the season at COTA with a real good handle on this championship.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better race for him. That's exactly what you want to do when you're leading a championship. Draw away, have your competitor have a little bit of struggle, and be able to take it easy on the machine and just bring it home. Great job.
Tommy Dreese ends up in 2nd place. We talked about that, and there's a look at our leader climbing out of his car. So we will get it down there to Ben Sissel, who's in the middle of all the happiness. Ben?
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, with Paul Menard here at the Jim Weed Winner's Circle with his 2 kids here. Your mom's here. This has got to feel pretty good.
Pretty cool. Got a lot of family that came in for this one. Friends and family. General Bill Moore's here from retired from the U.S. military. Just a hero of mine. These guys did a hell of a job all weekend. We weren't that good. We had some issues going on with the car, and the guys rebuilt the car basically twice, and it felt normal in qualifying. And I'm not sure what happened to Chris on the start of the race. He spun his tires, and then we just kind of set sail. So I wish I hate whatever happened to him happened, but I wish we would have had more of a race there. But this is pretty comfortable going into COTA.
Bo, did you have fun?
Yes.
Remy?
Yes.
Nice, I love it. Another family affair. It's kind of, come on in here, Mom. It's kind of weird when you have like 2 home tracks. The Road America Wisconsin track, the whole family was there, and then your family in North Carolina. You've kind of got 2 geographic areas.
Yeah, a little bit. The kids played at the farm yesterday with friends of ours. Put together a thing for a bunch of kids, and so they played at the farm yesterday. Drove up last night. It's a nice little 2-hour drive, and they'll be home before bedtime, so they can go to school tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It's awesome. Let's come over here. Hey, nice job there. Way to go. Way to go, Master Force. I love it. I love it. But we're going to come over here and talk to the newcomer to the series, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Locke. Unbelievable, Brian. I really hope to see you in XGT next year. I think we might even have our first XGT overall win if the weather cooperates at the next track. Did you have fun on your first outing?
I had a blast. One thing's for sure, when you haven't been racing these things all year, get in shape before you get in the car. I'm still catching my breath, but it's great that Trans Am has a place for these GT3 cars, both new and old. Just had a fantastic time out there, so it was awesome.
Now, we're kind of making a call out to all the GT3, GT4 drivers. What would you say about this series? How do we get more drivers out here?
You know, I think it was a really relaxed atmosphere this weekend. A lot of great camaraderie with my other drivers. So yeah, just had a really good time, and I really like that, some of the older GT3 cars can be out here too, so it was a good time.
Perfect. Well, nice job. Congratulations. First time in XGT, Brian Locke. But ladies and gentlemen, we have kind of a special thing happening here. Only the 3rd time ever. We have now a female champion in the Trans Am Series. Kaylee Bryson, you just keep breaking down fences. Unbelievable in every series that you're in. But I think now provisionally we can say you're the Super GT champion of Trans Am. How's that feel?
Man, that feels really good. And, man, that was the race of my life right there. I never gave up. And we started 3rd and really had to, chase down the guys. And I think once we got the fuel load off, our car really came to life there at the end. But, yeah, I can't thank my fellow competitors enough for racing me clean. And we were side by side and never touching. And that was really awesome. But it's really cool to be a champion in this series. And, the LSI, Logical Systems, this whole entire team does so much to make this possible. Sam Pierce Chevrolet, AP Driver Development, RE Enterprises. There's so many people that make this Corvette fast, and I can't thank them enough.
Nice. How about that, Kaylee Bryson? Well, gentlemen, I'm going to send it back up to you in the booth so we can have a big celebration down here.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Great job as always. Pretty exciting, and congratulations to Kaylee Bryson. What a great accomplishment there. coming out here, making her way in sports cars.
And that's how you want to clinch it. It's always fun to clinch it with a race win, especially beating an actual pro in the business. Like beating Eric is a tough thing to accomplish. So really great day for her.
Yeah, and I think that really helps her in putting her name on the map. You know, you want to say you beat somebody along the way, and she's beaten the best in the best in the business in open wheel in the dirt as well. So no reason to believe she wouldn't continue to do that over here as well. And we'll show you some highlights here of how things got going. That is Paul Menard right there taking the lead. Didn't see it right there as Chris Dyson, unfortunately, had spun the tire just a little bit. Looks like things were buffeting just a bit, so we'll see if maybe we can re-rack that and bring it back to our fans there as well. That's a look at Winner's Circle right behind Race Control. The building off there to the left is where our booth is, looking at the front straightaway, and the paddock, of course, just there to the left as well, and they have re-racked this highlights reel. So we'll bring it back to you here and show you what happened at the start of this race. Once again, Paul Menard out there on the left-hand side takes the lead, and Chris Dyson had spun the tires just a little bit there at the top, and that's what allowed that door to open.
Exactly. Really easy to do. And then as you can see, everyone's pushing through traffic. A lot of mixed class. Thomas with Annunziata with his problem, and there's your failed damper for Chris Dyson.
Yeah, unfortunately for Chris Dyson, look at the left rear right there as the car set down on that left rear in the compression zone in turn number 17. That opened up the door for the number 3 car to make a run for this win. It also opened up the door for Tommy Dreesy to close back up and get on the back bumper of Amy Ruman. Amy, unfortunately, spinning it in an oak tree. Tommy able to stay out of the back of her there. They would continue on with this race and eventually work their way back up into second place for Tommy Dreesy, third place for Amy Ruman, and, of course, that man right there, Paul Menard, grabbing the win here at VIR. Great run for him, and all but has this championship locked up. So we'll show you our results here as Paul Menard, Dreesy, and Ruman there in the top. Congratulations to Brian Locke. How about that? 4th overall.
Exactly. Great run for an XGT car. Danny Lowry hanging on for second, beating out his teammate by a bit. Kaylee Bryson winning an SGT and clinching her championship.
Keith Grant was up in a podium position for the longest time there in TA. Something going wrong in that last lap, and allowed Dreesy and Ruman back into those podium positions. Eric Foss led almost the entire way there in SGT, but cars started to fall away there with a couple of laps to go, so Kaylee made him pay. And we look at Billy Griffin as well in XGT. We'll make it onto the podium in that particular category.
In his first time in that category, in that Mercedes. So great result for her first time out here in one of those cars.
Joshua Carlson there to round out the top 10. We go back to Richard Grant, Pops Grant there in the number 30 car in TA. Gabriel Jasper in SGT. Chris Coffey in GT.
He's taking his win in GT with Rami in his first GT, in his first race in Trans Am, let alone GT, getting on the podium, as well as Colin Cohen getting another podium win. Really great result for them. That's 2 Maseratis on the podium.
Yeah, and you mentioned Michael Sy as well.
Yeah, Michael Sy, exactly, finishing in 4th. He's actually teammates with Rami, so they're coming home in 2nd and 4th. We have teammates split, odds and evens in GT.
And the way it goes, Raymond Cobbs, unfortunately, was sitting facing the wrong direction there into Mission Foods turn number 1, so obviously something happening there. We documented that Chris Dyson lost that left rear damper early on in the race. A shame for him and Ricky Saunders as well in SGT. A tough player there. Thomas Annunziata in his TA debut, unfortunately not able to find the checkered flag here. The car just not completely sorted. By the way, that's a car that Adam Andretti won in a little bit earlier this year at Road Atlanta, so a very accomplished car. And taking a look here at the GT highlights as we walk you through, and those Mercedes coming out here doing a great job today. Off the oak tree turn, and the teammates racing hard. Pretty cool, huh? It'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a good trip home. There's a look at Eric Foss at SGT.
The Mean Green Machine by G-Speed. Back on board with Danny a little bit, and that beautiful Mercedes. And there's Chris Coffey in that bright Maserati.
Well, GT Cars putting on a great show. That was a look at Brian Locke there real briefly. There's Brian Locke. Congratulations to him showing up here and really flexing his muscle, showing what he's made of. There's a look at Kaylee as well as she brings that one home across the stripe first in SGT. And one more time, we're going to go back down to the Jim Weed winner's circle, and our Ben Sissel's right in the middle of it.
A minute? All right, just under a minute, crowd. We're really counting on you. You guys showed up well yesterday for the race yesterday. You were loud and proud. Almost there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, come on now, get loud. VIR SpeedTour. What a race. The Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Nice. Keep it up. Woo-hoo. This is good. Must be the Jim Weed here at Jim Weed Winner's Circle, the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli at one of my favorite tracks. This is just so pretty here at Virginia. I know a lot of you are from North Carolina, and North Carolina can hear us. They're just right over there. So be loud and proud for North Carolina, Virginia. VIR SpeedTour. We are going to start in the GT class. One thing, though, we do have to move kind of quickly because we have another championship to go to after this. In third place, let's hear it all the way from Dallas, Texas, Colin Cohen, Norwood Auto Italia, Maserati up there. In second place, his first time in the GT class with the Trans Am Series. Let's make him feel welcome. Let's hear it for Rami Farid, ladies and gentlemen. Rami, did I say your last name right? Perfect, he said. I was working on that. And then in first place, let's hear it for Chris Coffey in the GT class. All the way from Dallas, Texas. And Chris will give us his patented yelp up here. Chris, let's hear it. I'm going to hold it down here, though. Woo! Nice. There we go. The Ric Flair. Colin, we've been talking all weekend. I know you love VIR. That's got to be fun out there.
Yep, it is. I've been coming here for 20 years, and it gets better and better. Thanks to the other racers for the gentlemanly and ladylike behavior on track and giving me some space, and really enjoyed it. And thanks to my team, Chris and Alex and Xavier, that gave me a great car that made it possible to run effectively 5 days here without having to remove a bolt.
Nice. How about that? That's a win in itself. Rami, man, you're showing us the speed. Come out here first time. Was that fun for you?
Amazing. I'm so happy to just finish the race.
Anybody you want to thank for that?
Yeah, I'm super happy with my team, the best team on the paddock. Thanks, guys.
You don't want to name the team?
KMC.
There we go. There we go. KMC, nice job. And then Chris Coffey, nice job. I know you helped to put all this together. Your crew works a long time, but man, you just keep getting on the top step in GT.
Yeah, that race was a little confusing. Weren't really sure the cars behind me were on the same lap or not, and unfortunately, me and Michael came together, and we didn't have a little conversation about that, and I feel terrible that it happened, but we'll talk about it, and we'll talk our way through it and see what happens. But I want to thank Colin Cohen here first. Without him, I couldn't be here, and my crew, Xavier and Alex, my shop, Norwood Auto Italia, and my wife, Morgan, and my son, Sam.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Come on now. Let's get loud. Colin Cohen, Rami Farid, Chris Coffey, GT right here. Hold those trophies up. What'd you say? Oh, here's some Jim Weed for you, gentlemen. If you'd like it. It will make you energetic like this side of the crowd over here. All right, now come on now. Get loud. Let's hear it. Colin Cohen, Rami Farid, Chris Coffey. Man, I like this. Even Jason Hart's clapping. Now, you guys can throw out those hats if you want. Or you can keep them, whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter. Boo! Boomerang. There we go. Oh, man, the wind is getting you guys. You can come and grab them, though. It's fine. All right, come on now. One more time. Colin Cohen, Rami Farid, Chris Coffey. Hold those up. Paul Menard's got some hands on them. I like that. Uh-oh. Champagne. Now watch out, people. Don't get this in your eyes. Bo's running away. There we go. Oh, there, look at that. The gentleman way to do it. Just spray it on your competitors' cars. Oh, got me. Colin, you got me right in the eye. Yeah, he said he's trying to get his cockpit. I love it. Nice job. Hey, man, welcome to the series. Hope you come back. That was awesome. Nice job. Super GT, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a really fun one to watch all season long. In third place, let's hear it for Josh Carlson. second place. First time I remember him being in the series with G-Speed. Let's hear it for Eric Foss in that beautiful green Corvette. And then, ladies and gentlemen, first female to win a USAC Majors, I think, midget race just this year, and only our third female Trans Am champion ever in our history. Let's hear it for Kaylee Bryson. We can confirm that she is the Super GT champion. Josh Carlson, I know you were out there fighting for it and doing everything you could. How was your race out there?
It was a fun race, racing with Eric and Kaylee. At the last restart, though, the lineup got a little confusing. I don't think we started where we were supposed to, so we kind of fell back a little bit and just brought the car home in third.
Nice job. How about anybody you want to thank, Josh?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Insiva, Dirks Ltd, All Test Inc., 9 Round. Without their support, I wouldn't be able to be doing this racing. My parents, my dad, my grandpa, my grandma for coming out to this race, and Trans Am for putting on such a good show.
Nice. How about that? Josh Carlson, Eric Foss, man. Nice job. Way to run out there. I love seeing G-Speed back in the paddock. That had to be fun.
Yeah, no, what a great opportunity. Got to really thank Stan and Shelly Wilkinson of South Dallas Turf. It's their car. They hired me to come in this weekend and run it. We're shaking it down as first race for the car. I think it did awesome. I mean, Kaylee, amazing job. That last restart I didn't have anything for, and we diced through some good traffic, but congrats to her and Josh. I mean, it was fun running with these people.
Nice. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Eric Foss. And then Kaylee, championship, Super GT. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels really good. And, I had a good car, most of the season and, all the season. And the car's been really amazing. I'm just really learning how to drive road course racing since I grew up racing ovals. But it's been an absolute blast this weekend. It's my first time at VIR, and I definitely rank this one at the top of my list. This is a really cool track. I can't thank my team enough for all they do. They put in a lot of hard work on that Corvette to make it fast. And it's just been a really fun weekend racing with all these guys, and especially in the feature, having to run qualifying laps every single lap and just trying to catch these guys and making good moves in traffic. But it was a really fun race, and I can't thank everybody enough.
And not only that, but you went to the lake and you caught a big bass also, right?
Yeah, I love fishing. So, there's a lot of good bass in this country.
Nice. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Josh Carlson, Eric Foss, Kaylee Bryson. Hold those trophies up. There we go for the photographers. Man, I like this VIR. Keep up this energy here. Oh, there's the Jim Weed at Jim Weed Winter Circle. Michelle Rigdon passing out the Jim Weed and the new hats. Kaylee, you want to throw the hat out? There we go. Careful. Oop, Josh. Oh, boomerang. Somebody can get that, I'm sure. Oh my gosh, are you Australian? That was a boomerang. All right, come on now, hold those trophies up. The Jim Weed up, let's hear it. Josh Carlson, Eric Foss, Kaylee Bryson. Everybody at age here, of age? They said, don't get the crowd. Do whatever you want, man. Let's hear it. Josh Carlson, Eric Voss, Kaylee Bryson, don't come off the stage. And it just all goes right to your car. Nice job, guys. Keep it up, crowd, because we've got Extreme GT coming up. Third in Extreme GT, he is a 2-time GT champion at Trans Am. Let's hear it for Billy Griffin. Come on now. There we go. Come on, we can get louder than that. Billy Griffin running the Bridge Hall Bennett car, and then the Cenex car in second place. Let's hear it for Danny Lowry. I'm being told to hurry up, though. His first time in Trans Am, first time in XGT. Super fast out there. Let's hear it for Brian Locke, the Helium mobile car. Not here. All right, well, you can take a spot if you want to. So you guys see it. Billy's like, I'll take it. You know how to do that. So, Billy, how was it out there? I know you know how to run these GT cars, but XGT, you said, is a whole different animal.
Oh, the car is beautiful. I almost wanted to put my finger over the Ford Oval that I love. The hardest thing I had is trying to let the traffic go at the end. They were fighting for the lead, so trying to get out of the way. Got some marbles on the tires, but the car's amazing to drive. I want to thank Danny and the whole Bridge Hall Bennett team for letting me drive the car. It's just a one-of-a-kind experience. I'm really happy. Thank you.
Nice. Congratulations. Hey. And so happy to have you up here on the podium with us at Trans Am. Billy Griffin, ladies and gentlemen. And then with Bennett Bridgehall, but driving the Cenix car, Danny Lowry. How was your race out there?
That was a good race. The car was really loose on the back the whole time, so I was fighting it, and I was very fortunate to be able to stay in front of Billy. And, hey, I would like to call out Billy. Billy, it's the first time he's driven one of these cars. He picked up 8 seconds yesterday learning how to drive this car. He's fantastic. And he pushed me around the track all day today. Fantastic job by him. I wish Brian was here. Brian's a great guy. Brian, we didn't have anything for Brian. He was just a little too fast for us today, but we'll come back and try to get him somewhere else at another time. But I would, Ben, I would like to say hey to my wife out there. She's still at home without electricity while I'm out here racing. And my crew, they're fantastic. Tyler Hoffman, my coach, and Jason Howell, my crew chief. They do a fantastic job for me every time. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Billy Griffin and Danny Lowry. Yeah, hold those trophies up. Come on now. Come on, VIR. Let's get loud. Hard fought there. Nice job. Now we're going to change hats. Have some Jim Weed at Jim Weed Winner's Circle. Anybody want a hat? Ooh, that was a good throw. Bo wants one. We'll get you. Oh, Billy. Right to Danny. Nice, nice. All right, come on now, VIR. Let's get loud. Billy Griffin, Danny Lowry, Extreme GT. There we go. Hey, man, I like this. I like this. Keep this up over here. Uh-oh. 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 He's going right at it. Usually teammates aren't that aggressive, but that was pretty good. That was good. Nice job. Billy, awesome to have you back up here with us, man. Danny, thank you so much, and I'm so sorry that your wife has no electricity. That stinks. All right, TA, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere between 850, 900 horsepower cars. In third place, I'm going to bring up our two-time Trans Am champion. Going to be painting my nails red here soon. Let's hear it, Amy Ruman. And I'm so happy to have her up here because last couple years she's had some rough mechanical problems, some weird gremlins at VIR, so awesome to have her here. In second place, this is awesome to have our Lucas Oil Mav TV car, Tommy Dreesy up here, Showtime Motorsports, Dreesy Advertising. Let's hear it. And we're going to, I hope you have your phone on you because we got to keep that tradition. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the motorsports legend. This team has won 8 or 9 Trans Am champions throughout their history with Rocket Sports, Paul Gentilozzi, Tony Gentilozzi, the same team. But then we have the legend motorsports here, Paul Menard, Master Force Tools, Menard's Ford Mustang 3GT, doing everything he can to win a Trans Am championship. Nice job. But it does go down to our last race at Circuit of the Americas. So let's do that. Let's do that selfie. Can we do that selfie here? The Tommy Dreesy selfie. This is famous. You got to follow Tommy Dreesy, and we're going to make a super cut of these. All right, Dreesy. Everybody get in the selfie. Come on now. Hey, and try to get this crowd in the background there too, Tommy. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now, don't hurt yourself, guys. Oh, gosh. This might be the most dangerous thing we've done all weekend at a racetrack. Amy Ruman, nice job. You're painting my nails at the next race, and that's got to feel good because I know you've been wanting to get on the podium here at VIR.
Yeah, I mean, what a day we had. We a couple ups and downs. We were strong at the beginning and then faded in the middle. Came back. We kept trying and trying. I can't thank my guys enough for not giving up on us. And the McNichols 23 Valley Chevrolet Corvette was good enough to get us on the podium today with a little luck at the end. And you know, I got to thank ECR for giving me that rocket ship and keeping us going. I'm fast all the time. And what a day. Congratulations to these guys. And we'll see you the next one.
Nice, hard fought podium for Amy Ruman. Let's hear it for Amy Ruman. Dreesy from the back. I know you, and it's not a surprise that you're late to grid, making you start in the back, but they made you work for it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was kind of bummed about it, but you know what? Me and the team, they calmed me down, and it's not easy to do.
Yeah, who calmed him down? I didn't know that was possible. Brad says he did.
I raced for enough teams. They probably all came over to calm me down. But no, the Dreesy Motorsports team, I can't thank the girls and guys enough. They work so hard. They never give up. Lucas, Mission, MAV TV for having us on a great network. Amy, you know, we had a good fight again, and it was awesome. You could tell her brakes were going away. She was starting to push harder, and I started pushing harder. So, but man, I'm glad I missed her, and we both stayed, you know, made it over here to the podium. You know, Menard and Genelozzi's and the whole Rocket Sports team. Rocket Sports? I'm going to call it Rocket Sports from now on. That's it. 3GT. Rocket Sports. Man, they're the class of the field, and they're, you know, just can't say enough. I'm coming home. Jagger, Elin, Lacey, I love you.
Nice. How about that, ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Dreesy. All the fans, he says, and we're also glad you avoided Amy Ruman there at the oak tree. That's not like you. Paul Menard, like that one. Paul Menard at Sebring. Before the Sebring race, I said, hey, Paul, are you going to do the whole championship? He says, I'm going to do Sebring. I might do Road Atlanta. He had so much fun at Sebring. There's a very good possibility we may be crowning a new champion. Keep it up. Come on, keep up the noise. How was your race out there, Paul?
Not as loud as this. No, we had a great race. You know, I hate that Chris had his issues. We got a good launch at the start. I thought you know, Chris is notorious for, you know, low air pressure, kind of sluggish at the beginning, but then comes on hard at the end. So I was trying to build a gap to conserve the lead for when the tires fall off. But you know, we built this car. The guys, I didn't do anything. These guys built the car twice this weekend. Just had couple little gremlins, and they fixed it for qualifying. And the car went from uncomfortable to okay. Now we can go race after qualifying, and it was really solid all day. I played with the sway bars just to try stuff, but really didn't have to adjust the car at all from the inside. Rest a little bit easier going into Dakota now with points, but we're still going to Dakota to win and try to capitalize.
Nice. Now you have a ton of family, friends, neighbors here. How about that, people? Paul Menard, this has got to be like we had a big homecoming for you at Road America, and now here, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, you know, I've spent almost as much time in the south as I have in the north. I got my northern family up there, and I got my neighbors that are kind of my southern family here as well, so cool to see everybody here.
Nice. How about that? It must be those Master Force tools from Menards. Let's hear it. Amy Ruman, Tommy Dreesy, Paul Menard, VIR Speed Tour. Man, I like this group of people. Hey, you guys should come to every race. Uh-oh, Amy's got an arm. Oh, look at that. 3GT guys just can't catch. Let's see where Paul Menard's going. Oh, there we go. Nice. All right, come on now. Oh, hold up the Jim Weeds at Jim Weeds winner circle. All right, come on, VIR. We're getting to the end of it. Let's be loud. Have some energy. I love it. Amy Ruman, Tommy Dreesy, Paul Menard here at the VIR Speed Tour. Okay, now these teddy bears, you can keep them because, you know, Remy and Bo might want some. You can throw them out. That's it. So you guys can do whatever you want with those. But hold them up, though. Hold them up, though, real quick. Chris, you got a picture of that? There we go. There we go. Bo, Remy, you guys got some, right? No, Bo says no, he doesn't. How about that? All right, you can throw them out. You can keep them, whatever you want to do. Oh, look at that arm. Oh, man. Paul Menard's got an arm on him. I like that. All right, looks like we got some champagne here. All right, VIR, come on now, get loud. Amy Ruman, Tommy Dreesy, Paul Menard. They're trying to be gentlemen about it, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. Just up in the air. Right on the Menard car. And then, Amy, Tommy, you guys are excused because our MCO Lap Leader Award, the Gearhead, goes to Paul Menard. So, Paul Menard, if you'll just, you can do that right here up front. Is that cool, or do you want him on step? Yeah, right there. Just hold, put the hat on and get a picture for Chris. And then, ladies and gentlemen, that does it here for the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli at VIR. I'm sure the Menard family wants to come up here for a family photo. But we will be back here next year. Paul, nice job, man. You guys are just kind of the class of the field this season. So proud of you guys. Come on up here, guys, for a photo. But we're going to go join this race live on the live stream. Hey, there are stairs over here.
Thanks a lot, Ben. We appreciate all that stuff down there in the Jim Weed Winner's Circle. It's very, very busy down there. We want to remind all of our fans there at home as well that we will bring you a couple of highlight shows here that will air on MAV TV. You'll be able to catch those. I believe it is October 9th as it pops up here. October 10th, my apologies, at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, featuring the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series at 8 o'clock, and then followed up with the TA race along with XGT, SGT, and GT on October 10th as well at 9 o'clock. So back-to-back hours there. It's been a great time out here at VIR. Josh, thanks for all the help here, man. It was a fun race. I think the caution flags present opportunities here. We had a couple of them here today, and it allowed some of the players to get back up there.
It did. It allowed a brilliant fight, especially for that Kaylee Bryson Foss fight. We got to see great pass and some history being made with some champions crowned today.
Yeah, no question about it. So a great time here at VIRginia International Raceway. We knew it would be. Just one round yet to go here, and that will take us to Circuit of the Americas. We want to thank everybody there at home for watching us on MAV TV. It's been a great time here. I have to say, for Josh Hurley and Ben Sissel, I'm Ken Stout. Thanks for watching the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We'll see you next time at Circuit of the Americas.